Hello everyone, welcome to Module 1. So I am Maureen P. Gisador and I am the expert 1 which entitled Building Culture of Inquiry. What is inquiry and what is inquiry-based learning? A culture of inquiry begins with a welcoming climate of trust and validation where students understand the value of questions and the adventure of seeking answers. And it creates student ownership in the classroom. It can validate the passion and interest of our students. So what is inquiry? Anyone? No? Okay, inquiry is a recursive or ever-revolving process driven by the learner's ideas, questions, and purposes for learning begins with a personal connection. Inquiry is experiential learning. Inquiry involves immersing children in a topic with time to explore, wonder, investigate, and research. So, these are the importance of inquiry. Inquiry implies a need or want to know or a premise. Inquiry is not so much seeking the right answer, it is rather seeking appropriate resolution to questions and issues. Inquiry-based learning is not a technique, instead is a process that helps to increase the intellectual engagement and deep understanding of learners by develop their questioning, research, and communication skills, collaborate outside the classroom, solve the problems and create solution, and then participate in the creation of ideas and knowledge. So what is inquiry-based learning? Anyone? Okay. Inquiry-based learning is a way of teaching and learning what is primarily student-directed. Students explore, investigate, research, study, and pursue topics based on a curiosity to increase their understanding of the world. So these are the 10 reasons to use inquiry-based learning. Number 1, it is nurture the student passions and talents. Number 2, empower the student's voice and honor student choice. Number 3, increase motivation and engagement. Number 4, foster curiosity and love for learning. Number 5, teach great perseverance, growth mindset, and self-regulation. And then number 6, make research meaningful and develop strong research skills. Number 7, deep in understanding to go beyond memorizing facts and content. Number 8, fortify the importance of asking good questions. Number 9, enable students to take ownership over their own learning and to reach their goals. And then last is number 10, which is to solve the problem of tomorrow in the classroom of today. So welcome to our pros and cons of inquiry-based learning. So our pros reinforce what students are learning, promotes deeper thinking skills in students, prevent boredom among students in class, and then the cons is teacher feel pressured to find the time. Teacher fear there will be gaps in learning, and last is a few students may be bored and unmotivated.
So we have here now the expert for building a culture of inquiry, a model for inquiry, the inquiry model. So building a culture of inquiry, building of inquiry begins with a welcoming climate of trust and validation, where students understand the value of questions, and the adventure of seeking answer. Inquiry is powerful. It can create student ownership in the classroom. So we have here a model of inquiry. Inquiry models engage students in actively investigating or understanding student, generate questions or identify issues or problems relevant to content area, then collect and interpret information of that or data to answer the question or solve the issues or problem. Some other disciplines use more genetic approaches. The inquiry models, so as you can see, we have planning, retrieving, processing, creating, sharing, and evaluating. The first one is planning. Inquiry should understand that the underlying purpose of inquiry-based learning projects. Inquiry-based learning begins with the inquirer's interest in or curiosity about a topic. So we have retrieving. The next thing about the information they have and the information they want. Inquiries may need to spend considerable time exploring and thinking about the information they have found before they came to a focus for inquiry. And so we have the processing. This begins when inquiries has found a focus for the inquiry. A focus is that aspect of the topic area that our inquiry decided to investigate. Coming to a focus can be very difficult for students as it involves more than narrowing the topic. It involves coming to an authentic question, a personal perspective, and or compiling this statement. And so we have creating, organizing the information, putting the information into one's own words, and creating a presentation format are the next task in the process. Students feel more confident at this and want to include all their new learning in their products, resulting in too much information. And we have sharing. If students have been given enough supports throughout that inquiry process, they are proud of their product and it eager to share it, regardless of the format or audience. They may feel a bit nervous about, they may feel anxious that others may not understand or appreciate their efforts. Feel that they have done well on that assignment, well on this assignment. So the last is evaluating. Finally, when a research project is complete, inquirers feel relevant and happy. They are excited about their new skills and understandings, and they want to reflect on the evaluation of their product and their inquiry process. In order to make sense of the inquiry process, they need to understand and question the evaluation criteria to identify the step in the query process and to share their feelings about the process. So that's all. Thank you.
I'm the expert too. A requirement for building a culture of inquiry, inquiry and metacognition, inquiry across the curriculum. This time, the teacher need to establish it from the first day in the classroom and work to keep it vital throughout the year. And here are some important things to know about creating the culture and some ideas that you might consider. The climate, the culture versus climate. We need to be honest at the forefront. A culture of inquiry will not happen overnight, but the right climate for it is too much easier to establish. When you make a change or set an expectation for how a classroom will operate, we we begin to affect the climate. It takes time for something to become a part of the culture. All the work that teachers put into creating a classroom of inquiry must be revisited over and over again. Teacher must commit to this change and continue to reinforce the practices and strategies that create a culture of inquiry. So, using metacognition, inquiry-based learning, and the path to knowledge and understanding. So, have you ever heard a student say they're bored? So, let us do something about it. So, why use this method together? Because of reinforcement. Students can use metacognition to remind themselves of what happened during inquiry activity and why it happened. Next is clarification. Students can use metacognition to look back and connect the dots to their inquiry activity and becoming better learners. Using metacognition practices will help students become better inquirers. So, integrating inquiry across the curriculum. Well-tested curriculum materials grounded in the national standards. Practical strategies that provide reliable assessment data about how students perform when engaged in inquiry. Enlightening the first-person accounts, illustrating inquiry in the classroom, and then last is an exploration of inquiry from the unique perspective of geography, science, history, language arts, and mathematics, and more.